Ow.
Welcome to the Cat Girl Film Podcast.
Full of domestic violence and broken props.
You broke the Hokasai. Hakasai. 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 Hakasai.
Stop.
Hakasai.
Okay, Bryce, what are we watching today?
We are watching First Blood. The name of the movie most people probably don't know it for.
Yeah, because, for me exactly, I always thought it was called Rambo.
Yep. Everyone always thinks the movie's called Rambo. Nope, it's called First Blood.
Yep.
So in case you're curious, this is the Rambo movie. This is Rambo.
When I was trying to watch this movie yesterday and I was looking it up, freaking Amazon was saying, First Blood, Rambo, Part 2.
Yep.
I was like, what?
Yep.
And I just had to look at the date and whatnot. I was like, okay, this is 1982. This should be the original. And I think I did watch the correct one.
So you watched First Blood.
Yes.
Not Part 2, not Rambo. No, you just watched First Blood.
It's just how it's titled.
Yep.
Like, literally, First Blood itself, the movie I watched, but on Amazon, it was titled a little bit differently for some reason.
It's probably for tags.
Yeah.
Probably for people searching.
Possibly.
But, notably, adaptation of a book called First Blood.
Mm-hmm.
Did not read it for this one.
So, I did do a little bit of fun thing for you here.
Alright.
I've only known First Blood about for one little thing. I have a family member that has read this book.
Ah, excellent.
And you want to know what he thought?
What?
He did not like this movie.
Yeah. So, I had not read it in preparation for this.
Yeah, I didn't either.
But I have read the book. A long time ago. Because I read it because of this movie.
Yes.
The book and the movie are very different.
Yeah.
They're extremely different. Adaptation-wise, so I'm going to talk about the book here very briefly, about what the book's about.
Yeah.
Because the book is a comment on the ideals of masculinity and what basically happens and what it encourages. Because the movie is all about two dudes. An old Vietnam vet and a small-town sheriff. Both see themselves as the biggest D in town. They both see themselves as tough and hot crap.
Yep.
And these two collide, and neither is willing to sacrifice their masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
And both of which absolutely destroy each other and everything around them to prove themselves. Mm-hmm. That's what the book's about. The movie, not as much. The movie is much more a comment on PTSD. It is a comment on how that affects people and how we treat people with such things. Mm-hmm. Additionally to that, it's also a comment on veterans because post-Vietnam War treatment of veterans.
Yeah, we're not very far off after it ended.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the background here.
Yeah.
So as we say, with this, we're doing a lot of adaptations recently, so I've had to mention this a lot recently.
Yep.
With an adaptation, we do not say you have to adapt perfectly, as long as you adapt in a sensical way. So, I personally believe this is adapted in a sensical way.
Yeah.
We'll get into that with writing.
Mm-hmm. Because
with writing, it very loosely is the book. Mm-hmm. But not really.
Yeah.
But that's fine, because if someone wanted that, they could go read the book.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, the movie boosted the book sales.
Yep.
Like, it didn't do bad for it.
Yeah. So, with my family member and whatnot who read the book, the main thing he did not like was how the ending was changed.
Yep.
That's the main thing he didn't like.
Yep.
He actually liked the whole aspect of PTSD and whatnot being talked about in the movie, and he thought this is actually a pretty important piece to talk about. It's just that he did not really enjoy the ending, which, I guess, spoiler, in the ending of the book, Rambo dies.
Yep, both die.
Yep.
They both die for their masculinity.
Yep.
While in this movie, they do a spoiler, one gets hospitalized, the other goes to jail.
Yep.
Which I still think's fine.
Yeah, I actually don't mind that at all.
But, more notably for the writing, the standout thing for the writing is the ending speech.
Mm-hmm.
So this movie really put Sylvester Stallone on the map. And I've never seen Sylvester Stallone do something like this before. Which we'll get a little bit more into that with acting.
I never would have thought he would be able to do that.
Yeah, exactly. like, effing, like, 12-time Razzie winner Sylvester Stallone.
Did this movie come out first before Rocky or after?
I think this predates Rocky.
Okay.
I think this predates Rocky. Not 100%.
Because I could have sworn Rocky was, like, really the one that put Sylvester Stallone on the map.
I think this movie predates Rocky. I could be wrong.
I'll double check to make sure.
I think Rocky predates Rambo 2, though.
Yeah.
Because I think it's Rambo, I think it's First Blood, Rocky, then, like, Rocky 2 or something, then Rambo 2, or something like that.
Let's see. First Blood, 1982.
82?
Yep. And then Rocky, 1976.
76? I was so wrong. My apologies.
Wow.
It's very wrong.
So yeah, Rocky came out first, and that was the one that put Stallone on the map.
Yeah, no, wow, I was very off.
Because I've always heard it was like, yeah, Rocky was what my maiden name for Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
But anyway, shall we start with writing?
Yes.
All right, so there's only one aspect of the writing that I am mixed on, and it's actually a personal preference of mine. So this movie, for like the first 2/3 of the movie, it is very grounded.
Yep.
Like, I thought, man, this is actually like, the only thing I've always heard about First Blood is that it is lumped into the category of the macho,
yep,
big muscly tough guy wielding a gun,
which I think is unfair.
Yeah, I never knew of it besides being categorized as that. So whenever I watched it, I was like, this is actually a lot more than that. This is actually pleasantly surprising me. Like, it is very, very grounded. It's just at the very end, it's where it kind of loses me. Where, yeah, he steals a truck, and then he gets to the town, and it's like explosions and Michael Bay-esque stuff, and he has the look of Rambo that I can recognize, and it's like, you kind of lose me at that point. That's like,
I think it's the cultural impact that's doing that, because like when I watch it, I see that and I'm like, this makes perfect sense. I think it is the nature of like parody and like how people took that later on that elevated that to the point of ridiculousness.
Yeah.
So I think it's the relationship to that has made the scene so like different than what it actually is. Because when I watch it, it feels like the natural elevation of things. There's like big explosions, but they're not like Hollywood explosions. They're actual explosions.
Yeah.
With the only like Hollywood explosions a gas station.
Yeah.
But that like they do it in a way that makes sense, and it's there to like literally serve as a distraction. It makes actual plot sense. It's not just things blowing up for blowing up's sake.
Yeah, that's fair.
So to me, like, it is a very grounded film because of that. It is actually the second half I really like, notably because of the ending speech. The ending scene is amazing.
I do like the speech, actually.
Yeah.
It's just that one particular point of the ending is like, it just loses me a little bit, but that's just a personal preference of mine.
But before that, they're doing very good stuff with that, and they managed to do a very important thing, which is for the, number one, the end speech, but number two, the sheriff, they don't make him effing incompetent. They give him, like, a very understandable thing while still being an antagonist. He is very clearly, like, the 1950s ideal sheriff.
Everybody knows his name and everything.
Yeah,
he's
like the Andy Griffith.
Yep, he's like the most respectable member of the community.
And everyone says hi to him. He's this great, upstanding man, and he just wants to do nothing but make sure the community remains untouched by society.
Yep.
That's his job, functionally, is to be the little town haven that everyone idealizes.
That one of the big things that is like was just hard for me to grasp was like the small town sheriff trying to act all macho in front of a war veteran. It just feels so weird to me, coming from nowadays context where yes, everybody prioritizes like policemen and whatnot, but if you dare do anything bad to a veteran, good God, you're gonna be called the devil.
Yeah, this is very different than, because back during the 60s, veterans weren't as well respected. Number one, the war. Number two, so many veterans were African American.
Yep.
And I actually think this role should have been given to an African American person.
Honestly, yeah, I can agree with
like,
that.
I think this would have elevated the script more significantly, and it would have added a very interesting subtext. Because if they replaced Sylvester Stallone with as someone of African American descent, that would make the sheriff's thing a lot darker and a lot like, oh, this is what you guys are doing.
I think they are doing a prequel to Rambo, but of course it's going to be a prequel to First Blood.
Yeah.
But honestly, yeah, imagine a remake of Rambo where Rambo is changed to being an African American.
And nothing else has changed.
Nothing else has changed.
Nothing else. The movie becomes so much darker.
Well, even then, like, 100% yes. And even also, just reacting to people, like, you know how some people get mad about, race swapping and whatnot? This will just elevate the script insanely. And you're going to see people get mad about it, saying about, like, this is unrealistic. It's like, no.
Yeah, this is very realistic.
Especially after World War II, where when we had the GI Bill and everything was introduced and stuff, white men were given all the fun privileges of that part.
Yeah.
African Americans weren't.
Yeah.
That's something that's not talked about.
The civil rights really shined a light on how terribly African Americans were treated during the war.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. So, the speech.
Yep.
Sometimes, usually for me with speeches in movies, I am very hesitant on doing that. If ever I was ever making a movie, I would always be hesitant on doing a speech, because it's like, it's always telling a person about how they're feeling and whatnot, but literally, this is basically an interrogation, or at least a therapy session with Rambo and his superior, or literally what would be his father figure.
It's at the very end, and it feels very justified, because it is a speech, but it feels so much more like someone blowing their top. Mm-hmm. It feels like a rant.
Yeah.
Which is realistic.
Yeah, especially like how a large amount of masculinity is like you have to bottle up all your feelings and keep them down and be very stoic and stuff. But with Rambo, it's like you see every little, like you're hinted at every little thing that he's gone through, what he's been through with Vietnam and all of his colleagues that he was in his like group with in the war. They're all dead.
Yep.
They're gone.
He has no one else.
He's all alone. And even his superior that he was trained under, I mean, it's just not the same, really. Yeah. It's just like, I mean, we've gone through all this stuff and whatnot, but all the people that I have, like, literally went and fought with and basically had them die in my arms, I'm just alone. I'm just wandering this world by myself. In which, it's earned. Like, the speech is earned.
This movie unfairly gets lumped in with dumb action movies like Arnold Schwarzenegger and other Sylvester Stallone action films.
Yeah, this does not deserve that label.
It does not deserve it. And it is ridiculous that we get sequels to this movie.
Yeah, literally, that's my one gripe about this movie, is the idea that it has sequels.
But
should not
I do not fault the movie itself for that. I fault the studio. Because, this movie stands on its own. Giving it a sequel is idiotic. Mm-hmm. It immediately makes the sequel dumb.
Yep. Anything else for writing that you can think of?
No.
Alright. Acting. Pretty solid acting all around.
Yeah. But
Sylvester Stallone's very ending speech,
that actually shows he can act.
Yeah.
He's not some dumb guy that goes up there and
no, it's just a disservice to Rocky. He actually does perform very well in that movie. Actually, one thing I will give the credit for, though, is the sheriff.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, whenever I looked him up and whatnot, and I looked at his credits, I was surprised that I actually had seen him somewhat in a movie before, that we've seen before.
Oh, yeah?
He was the dad character, Dad Rat in Ratatouille.
Oh!
Yeah, believe it or not.
Dang.
Yeah. I did not realize it. I was like, I heard his voice somewhere before, and then whenever I saw his credits and stuff, I was like, oh.
He had to be quite old by that time then. Yeah,
yep.
Makes sense.
Yep.
I wonder if he's still alive.
I think he passed away recently.
Dang. R.I.P.
Yep. But other than that, literally, this was the movie where I'm actually surprised. Like, I'm surprised about Sylvester Stallone. He actually can show something.
Yep.
Oh, man. Anything else for acting that you can think of?
No.
All right. Production.
This is a very grounded film, and it's very much set in, like, a few places. There's a small town, there's a woods, and there's a cave.
Yep.
That's about it.
Takes place in the Cascadia region of the United States, so Oregon.
That sounds right.
Washington State and stuff. I love the look of the place.
Yeah.
Which I guess it leans.
Cascadia is beautiful. Like,
yeah. Honestly, I would not be. I know there's like each region of the United States. There's always been like proposed states and whatnot. If there was a proposed state of Cascadia and that flag, that looks cool. But
yeah, like so if you don't know, there's an independence movement for Cascadia where it's British Columbia, Oregon, Washington, and Northern California.
Yep.
Where they want to be their own thing.
Yep.
Northern California, very notably, does not want to be part of California.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah. They basically accept any movement that gets them away from California. So they accept Cascadia and they accept statehood and all of this kind of stuff. So.
Mm-hmm. Needed a water right there.
Yep.
Anything else for production? Literally for me, I just do love how grounded the majority of the movie is for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, not much to say about that. Design is pretty much harkens back to I love the entire scenery of where where the movie takes place at. I love forest scenes and nature scenes and whatnot. I honestly stopped the movie a fair bit of times just to look at the scenery, especially water streams, the cave, the forest, and it's like, God, it looks so good.
And the other thing I appreciate about production is the restraint on the stereotypical action stuff. Because, as we said, it's very grounded. There are explosions, but they're very grounded explosions. There's, like, big gunfire scenes. But they treat it with the weight of, there's someone being effing shot at!
Yeah.
It's not just like, pew, 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 pew. It's like, oh crap, someone just shot at me! I need to effing run! And, like, even the chase scenes are very grounded. Because you're watching the vehicles they're on effing get destroyed.
Yep.
And one of the very notable things that I very much appreciate, there is a car that falls off a cliff, and it doesn't gotta explode.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh, man.
it is a very grounded action movie.
Mm-hmm.
Where, like, it is, you're watching this and be like, this actually looks like something that could be on, like, a newscast.
Yeah, like, not much to say.
Yeah.
Alright. It should be obvious that, yes, we would recommend this movie to people.
Mm-hmm.
How would you rate this? Out of 10.
Easy 10. I love the movie the full way through.
Probably a 9 for me.
That's
it's
fair.
Very high up, and it's, like, very impressive, and it exceeded my expectations greatly.
Yep.
It's just, with me, with the whole thing at the ending is
Fair.
just my pet peeve, but other than that, everything else is very sublime.
Yeah. It is just sad this movie got a sequel.
Yeah.
This movie...
One of those times where you can say, I am sad this movie has a sequel.
Yep. It doesn't make sense, and yeah.
Alrighty. So, our next one, The Man Who Would Be King.
Mm-hmm.
Technically another book adaptation,
Yeah,
but I've never read.
Rudyard Kipling.
Yeah, by Rudyard Kipling.
Most famous for writing the original Jungle Book,
Mm-hmm.
which would later go on to be adapted by Disney.
Yes.
Which is probably what most people know him for, is
Yeah.
Disney's Jungle Book.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
But he is a very notable author, born in India.
He grew up in India and spent the majority of his life there.
And so many of his books is about India.
Yep.
He lived during the British colonization of India.
Mm-hmm.
And he himself was a British man.
Yeah, so he was an imperialist, a
Yep.
colonialist,
Mm-hmm.
very much a part of a man of his time.
Yep.
Which,
So if you look up things about him, he had some not great opinions.
yeah.
So
there is some hints of this movie where, yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because, like, this is the first time I have seen this movie in a long time, actually.
Oh, okay.
So I first saw this movie way back in my senior year in high school. Because, like, in our English class, we were, I believe in high school English classes in, like, your senior year, would mainly be focused on British literature.
Yep.
So my English teacher was a little bit upset, or I guess mad or whatever. Weird character, I should say. He was mad about them not mentioning Rudyard Kipling because he was like, the first British author to win the Nobel Peace Prize or Literature Prize or whatever is not mentioned in this textbook. So, yeah, we're gonna go on a side tangent. We're gonna talk about Rudyard Kipling, in which I thought, okay, so he showed us this movie, The Man Who Would Be King.
Yep.
In which I thoroughly enjoyed. I really, really liked it at the time. So, Yeah, so this movie stars Michael Caine and
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
In which, believe it or not, Bryce, these two actually have said and gone on to say, this was our favorite movie that we've ever worked together on.
These two work well together.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised there's really not very many more than with each other. So, how should we begin with the writing?
Indeed. So, this is an adaptation of The Man Who Would Be King. Now, I wanted to read this in preparation, just didn't get time, sadly.
I have never read this book. However, I have seen another type of a kind of adaptation of this book. Anyway, I've mentioned it before in the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
The Road to El Dorado.
Yep.
Which, you pretty much The Man Who Would Be King. It is essentially, the story goes like this. You have two men who are in India, and they wish to recapture glory similar to that of Alexander the Great.
Yep.
To colonize lands that have not been colonized by the British. So they make a contract and they explore out past Pakistan into what was the region that it was called.
Into the Afghan regions of the what would be the K2 Himalayas nowadays.
Yes.
Well, they venture out past that into Afghanistan. Notably, one thing I do appreciate, because they chose Afghanistan for a good not for a good, I don't know if this is mentioned in the book, but Afghanistan, nicknamed nowadays the Graveyard of Empires. Every place that's ever conquered Afghanistan falls in a few years. Alexander the Great, his empire fell not too long after that. When the British Empire conquered Afghanistan, they immediately lose the area.
Yep.
Lose India and, sunset and all that.
So
America went in to conquer Afghanistan.
Don't know.
Try there for 20 years.
Well, now we're going to see how that goes.
Yep.
Soviet Union. Very famous in the late 1980s. Gone in a decade.
Yep. Famously, people have called Afghanistan a cursed land, the Graveyard of Empires.
Yep.
No one can conquer Afghanistan.
I have no idea if it's mentioned in the book either. So
yeah, that's why I presume they chose that.
Yep. So, essentially, though, when they are conquering this land and whatnot, one of the characters is trying to pretend like I am the descendant of Alexander the Great, or son of Sikandar, as the movie would say.
Yep.
And pretty much, the people believe that he is a god.
Yep.
And one thing leads to another to where he believes he is the son of Sikandar. Until eventually, you start from the highest, you rise to the highest of highs, and then you have the massive decline.
Yep.
It's a classic story for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, this is a buddy comedy.
Yep.
Now, okay, so we got
Peachy and Dill, or Dale, I think it was.
Yeah, I believe that's the names. Alright, so, with that said, there's a fair things to mention about this movie, adapting a book. Okay, so where do you want to start off with, Bryce?
So, we first off can't speak to how accurate the adaptation is. Normally we like talking about that.
Can't do that here.
Can't do it here. Neither of us know the original material, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
However, with that, we're going to presume there is no accuracy, and we're going to talk about this film alone.
Yeah.
We're just going to talk about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, in the writing, it is very much talked about with a buddy comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And there is very clearly the adventure aspect where things go awry and then things go wrong.
Yep.
However, watching this movie, there was a thing that I saw that I was very surprised. I saw this and I went, this is typically a huge trigger for you. And then I was like, I'm surprised he doesn't hate this movie, and he likes it.
Which one was that?
The Freemasons. The huge historical revisionism with the Freemasons. That make watching it, I'm like, he normally hates this kind of stuff in movie. He will slam any movie I talk about. Will have something in this for how much he hates it.
Yeah, so this is where I forgot about the Freemasons were in this and whatnot. So
it's a major plot point that Alexander the Great was a Freemason, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. So the thing with this movie and Rudyard Kipling, of course, if you don't know, massive Freemason.
Yep.
big Freemason. Even a large amount of his books and whatnot hint at related stuff with the Freemasons, in which I assume he's taking creative liberties and saying that Alexander the Great, Freemason. And I was like, okay. But
in case you don't know, this is an actual historical revision with the Freemasons.
Yep.
Because the Freemasons want the mythology of how ancient they are.
Yep.
And they like the mythology of how important people are that were in them. Because, like, a bunch of very important historical people were Freemasons, but a majority of them weren't.
No.
Majority of people weren't. But they like that, pushing the narrative that they're these ancient things, and they like pushing the narrative that very particular people were Freemasons, one of which being Alexander the Great.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the Freemasons were not founded for hundreds of years after them. But they love pushing at certain people where even the most ridiculous ideas.
Yep.
Because, like, even certain Freemasons will push the idea that Jesus of Nazareth was a Freemason. Like, the Freemasons love to revise history.
Yeah. Literally, the Freemasons, they were sprouted out from Enlightenment ideals and whatnot. Like, they were diametrically opposed to certain things of, like, traditional religions and stuff like that, even though you need to believe in a higher power to become a Freemason.
Yeah.
And then they were just not very pro-monarchy and all these other things. Very much diametrically opposed to whatever ideals of way back of yesteryear were all about.
Yeah, so they came about most likely during the Bavarian Secret Order societies.
Yep.
This is the same time in which the Illuminati rose, and most likely fell.
Yeah. Yeah, not the Illuminati that, conspiracy theorists like to make stupid stories and whatnot. The Illuminati were...
The actual Illuminati.
Yeah, they are a completely different thing that we're talked about.
They were an old secret society, just basically about, like, we want to become powerful, and then they got banned by the Bavarian government.
Yep.
I think it was under Ludwig the First, I think it was, around that time.
I think that's right, yeah.
If you're familiar with the Ludwigs, you're probably most familiar with Ludwig II, aka the Mad King.
Yep.
Who built Nostruan Castle. I'm trying to remember how to pronounce it.
Yeah,
very famous castle in Munich.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much when it comes to pronunciations. However, there is one thing about with the writing, though, with the Freemasons that I actually did appreciate.
Oh, yeah?
So when Patchy meets Rudyard Kipling, and he's actually pickpocketing him, and he notices that, oh crap, he's a Freemason as well. So he has to run back and everything. And he hands him back his locket, and then they're talking to one another. That's speaking, and they're like asking, where are you headed towards, stranger? That is exactly, almost the exact way Freemasons would identify each other.
Ah, okay.
It's very, very similar. And I've noticed it before because...
It's probably in the book.
It is probably in the book. But mainly because I was sitting... I was on a road trip with friends a long time ago. And we got pulled over by a cop. And the cop was just looking at the guy... Looking at my friend's driver's license. And he just said something. And then my friend just looked over at him. And he just went, where are you headed towards, stranger? He's like... The cop was a Freemason.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, and they just went back and forth, and after it was all over, he just said, safe travels.
Yep.
No ticket. And it was like, we all just looked at him and was like, you're a Mason? And he was like, yeah. I was like, why didn't you tell us? And he's like, you didn't ask.
It's a secret society.
Yeah. The only way to become a Freemason is just to ask one to join.
Yeah.
That's all you do. There's only one other thing about with writing that, I definitely can tell this is a Kipling-esque thing. A large amount of the portrayal of like the people of India and other things. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that it's pretty dated.
Yeah,
it's definitely a product of its time. And there's also, I guess, Sean Connery doing a brown face type thing going on.
Yeah, a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like this is definitely a product of its time. It's pretty rough. Anything else for writing that you want to mention? Not
really. I definitely wanted to mention the Freemasons thing, because that blew me away that you were like, this is one of my all-time favorite movies. And I was like, this is typically a huge trigger for him.
Yeah, it's like, well, shoot, I forgot about the Freemasons for a minute until I saw it, and I was like, oh yeah, this happened.
Yeah. But like,
it isn't a massive trigger for me, I guess, because this is not a historical movie, but them doing that, I was like, interesting choice, but I'm assuming this is from how the book was dealing with it. So,
yeah.
Okay. Alright, acting.
just because... So, one thing I want to... Now that you mentioned, just because the book does it doesn't mean it's good.
Doesn't mean it's good.
Like, there is million ways to change the adaptation there.
Yeah.
But that's the way they went with it, so the movie is just as fault as the book.
Yeah.
If you adapt a faulty thing in the book, you have just as much fault. It's not, the book did it, we're just adapting it accurately. That's not an excuse.
This is
adapt it inaccurately.
This is Freemason propaganda, you're saying.
Yeah, like, it's literally just Freemason propaganda.
Oh, man. Alright, acting.
This is Michael Caine and Sean Connery.
Can't go wrong with that.
Like, they're really good.
Yep.
Everyone else in the movie, they're fine. They're a bit handy.
I will give a standout to, I forgot the actor's name, but the one that plays Rudyard Kipling in the movie.
Amazing casting. Yeah, he looks exactly like him.
Almost a perfect image of him. I was actually impressed.
Yeah, like I saw that too, and the moment he showed up on screen, someone called him Rudyard Kipling. I was like, oh my god, that actually is it. Like, what?
Yeah, I was like, holy cow, that's actually pretty well done. Like makeup and costuming, it's like this is pretty good.
Yeah, like that's always a bonus. I'm not like someone stingy. It's like you have to make sure they're perfectly accurate, but it's always a nice bonus whenever you do see it.
Yeah, it's always a bonus. Production.
This is... I'm curious where they all shot at.
That's what I'm wondering, too. Because I can't tell for sure if this is in Afghanistan or the Himalayas and stuff.
They definitely had to get real shots from the Himalayas.
India, I think they captured it pretty well.
Yeah. There are some interesting shots in it because there's definitely a lot of stock shots of, like bazaars. One of my favorite shots, actually, is very close to the beginning, in which case they're boarding a train.
Yes.
And it's, like, very busy and hectic, and he's, like, looking around trying to find Rudyard Kipling.
Yep.
But you don't know that's what he's doing at first.
Yep.
Because all you know is that he has a watch with the Freemasons, and then you figure out, oh, wait, he effing nicked that. And he's trying to return it to its owner.
Well, actually, I don't know. I think they actually hint that he's trying to return it and whatnot, because as soon as he sees the all-seeing eye, and he's like, damn it, I gotta go back. Because that actually is, like, a major thing with Freemasons. You're not allowed to steal from a fellow Mason. Yeah. Or else you'd be given bad luck. Which I guess if you judge by the rest how the movie plays out, he gets his comeuppance anyway. Yeah. I'm trying to think for everything else in production. I mean, everything else is fine. The editing is fine. The musical score isn't anything special. It's just... all around, it's just serviceable. Mm-hmm. Art design. Interesting use of Freemason imagery. Yeah. In a lot of places. It's gets borderline ridiculous on how often I've seen the all-seeing eye. I'm willing to bet if I did a drinking game, well, hypothetical drinking game of seeing the all-seeing eye in this movie, I'd probably be completely blitzed at that point. Good lord. Yeah, like, there's nothing really major, I would say, about the design. Yeah. Everything's kind of, like, fine. Yeah. It is one thing I guess I do like. It is very striking to see the British red uniform. Oh, yeah, actually. Like, because both of them wear that until, like, a certain part, in which case he swaps the local outfits. Mm-hmm. Which does, like, notably, like, signify when he begins to swap his alliances. He's no longer allied to England. He's now allied to the empire that he created, I guess. So, like, that's the major thing I would have with design. Yeah. Now the question is, can we recommend this movie to people? This would not be the one I'd recommend. No, if I was going to recommend a movie that's adapting this kind of story, I would just say Road to El Dorado does it just perfectly fine. Yeah, I would say it's even in a better adaptation, in my opinion. Yeah. I mean, if you really like Michael Caine and Sean Connery, this is like a really good, like really good acting wise from them, and this is like some pretty fun, entertaining scenes with them. But other than that, it's like. Yeah, like, Sean Connery and Michael Caine are definitely carrying this movie. Like, they're carrying it literally on their back. Yeah, like, if there was two different actors, I just think this would be a bad movie. Yeah, it would just be very bland. Yeah. Yeah. When I look back at my IMDb and whatnot, I think I gave it a 7, but honestly for me, it's closer to around either a 6 or a 5 for me. It's like, it's serviceable, but it's nothing special. Yeah. This is not going to make it in my top 50 anymore, I don't think. Yeah. For me, this is a 5. Fair enough.
but I'm not as much triggered by the weird revisionist stuff. However, it did get annoying how often it came up.
It didn't trigger me as much, but it was definitely a pet peeve of like,
yeah.
Good Lord, how many times do I have to see the freaking all-seeing eye? I
Yeah.
get it. Alright, I get it. Freemasons, I know, they're here. And all this imagery, but come on, give me something else to bite into.
But if you're wanting to watch a movie with weird occultic stuff, I would recommend From Hell before this. Which From Hell's not even great.
Oh
but...
God, I hated that movie. Don't even get me started on that. Which, I mean, I don't know. It goes back to that whole thing. But no, whatever.
Like, it's weird revisionist thing with secret societies and stuff like that. But that one's a lot more like, it is not trying to tell a serious story.
Yeah.
Compared to this one where I fully think Rudyard Kipling thought Alexander the Great was a Freemason. Because he bought into that crap.
It wouldn't surprise me one bit, I guess.
So, like, yeah, it is a theme that comes up a lot, and the rest of the movie's kind of whatever. It's a very classical tale. If you want to watch an adaptation of the story, Road to El Dorado is way better. Like, that's actually a really good movie.
Mm-hmm. Very underrated, too. I'm very happy on how often people are saying, like, this is one of the most underrated kids' movies of all time.
Yeah. So if you want to watch this movie, I recommend Road to El Dorado beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just watch that instead.
All right. So, homework time.
Yep.
You are tasked with watching, on the opposite end of the spectrum of a good adventure movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Mm-hmm.
And The Dark Crystal.
Yep.
All right. Well,